Hi, everybody. Welcome to the show. Good to see you, buddy.
Good to see you, man. You're in what city again? I know you just
I'm
told me
in
yesterday.
I'm in Des Moines, Iowa, and Iowa.
Moines.
I wish
Top of the morning to you. Sorry, I gotta brush my teeth. I got Des Moines breath.
I leave in Des Moines, actually.
End the evening.
I want to
arrive in the evening.
Good to see you. I have as many years of my life as you have wrinkles on your shirt.
Oh, you can tell? I just pulled this out of the closet, everybody.
Is that closet under rubble?
I was hoping this would just come off as some kind of static or something. It's really wrinkly.
It's so wrinkly. You got that one wrinkle that goes from one shoulder all the way to your opposite nipple.
That might be where the hanger was. Oh, this, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like
I gotta pull this down.
Looks like a strap.
Gosh darn it! I could have ironed this. Iron Man.
Yeah. You should have. Iowa and it. That's not good. Neither is this beginning. we might have to start again.
No, it was okay.
Oh man. Well, what's going on with you, man? How's New York? What are you up to? What's going on?
Well, I know you're with Joe List, so I thought this would be an interesting way to open. I saw Joe at the bagel shop in our neighborhood, and I hinted at this, or I talked a little about this on the bonus episode we just did, but I was like thanking him for bringing you into the neighborhood, and I was like, wow, that's great, you did that. And he's like, well, did he tell you about what happened? And I'm like, no. He didn't. And he said, he almost got us kicked out. I was like, he did? And then he said, yeah, there was the party. Did you go? I was like, I wasn't able to go. And he said, well, there was a dog running around and the neighbor's kid got scared. I was like, oh my God, this man just moved there and he's staying in your place.
So I wanted to tell it, but then I, for the first time ever, got interrupted on the last episode. And
what happened? What were you going to tell?
I was going to tell this story, but then you had another story, and I just went with that story instead.
Oh, darn.
Yeah. But
it was like a bombshell of a story.
Hey, I've had a lot of bombshells over the episodes, but then you remember some random anecdote from your past and go, I don't want to interrupt you, but
or a movie I've seen.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt you, but let me spend 45 minutes on Lord of the Rings.
Well, now we got more. We got carryover content.
We got some carryover. Carry fishing over, and
Kerry Washington.
Let's get into it. Yeah. So first of all, it didn't get that bad. Joe is pretty good at exaggerating, but I will say Chloe and Jeff's dog ran through the entire apartment building. They
like up and down the stairs?
Yeah, they had their dog, and they're like, can we bring the dog? And I'm like, sure. Thinking, it would be on a leash like humans do. And they had it off a leash. It was running around the entire building because no one would close the door to the backyard. Everyone that went in the back left the door wide open, which I'm like, follow the leaders here. Every time I went into the backyard, I closed the door behind me. kind of giving it away. This door should be closed.
Shut your front door.
And then, of course, the dog's running around the whole place, running in there's an alleyway in the back that goes to another building. The dog's running down there. They're all doing
What is going on with the leash? Why
they didn't bring one.
They didn't bring one at all?
At all.
How did they get to the house?
If they had the dog in a bag. Doggy bag.
So we brought some sides, and we also have a dog under here somewhere.
Yeah, we also have a liability. So
why would he just baffling to me that you have a dog in a bag, put the leash in there. What if it needs to pee?
I'm sure it's in the hallway somewhere in my home.
But on the way to get to your house, it's a long ride.
I don't know what I don't know, but the dog was running around. I didn't know this until what I'll get to that in a second. I had no idea the dog was running around. But since then, there's flies in our building because people left the door open.
Oh, the flies flew in? They do that.
It's like flies flying is like us bickering. It's just gonna happen. It's in their nature.
It's just gonna happen, and it's always when something stinks.
Oh man! And then there's flies in the building, and
you got to cover your ointments. They'll get in there.
And that's been a thing. And then the dog was running around. Now, no one was drunk at
like the plagues of Egypt. Flies, dog, angry older guy.
Roommates.
Yeah.
I literally said to Jeff, I was like, "Hey, your dog's running around the building," and he goes, "She likes to run around buildings."
These people are too relaxed to have an animal. They're super. Yeah, the dog. It just likes to play in traffic. We can't do anything about it.
It drove me nuts. By the way, he asked for my Disney Plus password today, and he wrote, "Hey, do you have Disney Plus? I need it." So,
did you have one?
I have Disney Plus.
Oh,
but he ain't getting it.
Tell him, yeah, you're maxed out.
I am maxed out. I'm so maxed out
on patience. No +1 for you.
So the dog's running around the building, and
did anyone say who let this dog out? Who?
All I said was Yippee-I-O, and it's part of the song.
Yippee-I-O is part of Who Let the Dogs Out?
Yeah.
What part of the song is that?
I don't know. It's they say Yippee-I-O in it a couple times.
What? Really? I thought they just said
it's in the what's not the chorus? The verse. It's in the verses. Dog versus
I didn't even think there was
neighbor.
verses in that song.
Dog versus neighbor.
The whole song was Who Let the Dogs Out? Who? For 3 minutes.
Well, we already got down to the bottom of that. But so the dog's running around our building, and of course, I addressed my concern and was looked at like I was the weird one.
Right.
I was like, this dog's running around here. Shouldn't it be, like on a leash? My cat was on a leash. My cat was on a leash. The animal that's least on the leash was on a leash more than the dog.
That makes the least sense to have a leash. Has a leash.
The leash sense.
The leash sense. The most sense is off getting you evicted.
Oh my God.
So what was the problem with the dog running around in relation to your landlord?
Ran by one of my neighbors, and the neighbor sees my mom and goes to my mom, and my mom comes out.
She goes to you and says, "I'd like to speak to your manager." And you go, "Well, I currently don't have any representation, but here's my mom."
Yeah. And going by the beginning of my podcast, it's going to be a while, but I go. My mom comes up to me and says, "You got a neighbor that wants to talk to you," and I grab Kate and I'm like, "Well, we got to do this together." We go over and we talk, because I'm not gonna do half the work. Like, I'm not gonna do all of it and then relay it back to my girlfriend. It's like, let's just do this together.
Well, Caitlin would be a good way to lay the law down.
True. I'm like, hey, you want to mess with me? You got to get through her.
Remember the time you had that backyard barbecue and people were peeing in the backyard, and
oh yeah,
and then she yelled at everybody.
She busted through the door like the sheriff.
Put that thing away.
Yeah. Keep that in its holster.
Yeah.
So Kate and I talked to the neighbor, and she expresses her concerns, and we're like, no, we understand, totally get it.
Totally get it. This dog should have a leash and shouldn't be running around. We understand that. We just can't do anything.
We'll never invite them again.
Here's an idea. Put the cat leash on the dog. Did you ever think about that?
No, because at that point, I'm spiraling out of control. It's not like when a plane's twisting around towards the mountain that it's like, you know what I should have done? I should have put it in fly. My brain was screaming the entire rest of the party.
I know. I mean, I went to pilot school. I've learned that it's either spin around into a mountain or fly on the settings. So they taught me that. That's the only thing you need to learn.
Well, then you should have known. So I'm freaking out, and then the rest of the party.
Did you tell Jeff that the dog's running around? I mean, did the neighbor yell at you?
They didn't yell. They were like, hey, this, that. And I'm like, I appreciate you coming to us and not just like, getting us in trouble or trying to get us out of there.
Okay.
It was the first problem that we had. And I'm like, we're not like this. I'm sorry that this happened, and we'll take care of it. And we did all the things, killed the dog. And you may notice Jeff and Chloe are missing, but
how'd this get back to Joe List and your landlord?
I told Joe, because Joe was like, we should have another hang in the backyard. And I'm like, well, now I got to tell him. This is what happened last time. And I'm like, and everything's fine. We settled it all out. But Joe's like us. So he's like, oh, my God, you're going to get us kicked out and all that.
Oh, that's what happened?
Yes.
That's the real story? To me, It seemed like the way he described it to me was the dog is running around. The landlord is nailing the eviction notice to your door. No, Joe has to step in between him and the nail going, don't give him one more chance, please.
No, he wasn't even involved.
You should have another hang. It just should be no animals.
And less people. It was too many people. I found out I'm a big draw. So
well, that's good. That's a what is it called? Consolation prize.
Consolation prize. But yeah,
my favorite.
Way less people.
My favorite is the Milky Way. Love when I get that prize.
Yeah, way too many people. Everybody brought a plus 14, and it was so many people. And so small hangs in the future, but it's not. Yeah, the landlord was never even involved.
Well, you know what they say: time flies in your house. It flies in your house.
At one time, I had people over. It flies everywhere.
Flies in the face of everything I stand for.
Yeah, it was very frustrating, and I wasn't gonna tell too much because I don't want it to look like I'm bashing my friends here, but I do want to keep living in my home.
Well, I mean, I hope you told them because I hope they learned that lesson that they should bring a leash.
Oh, I
when they
didn't
go.
tell them at all.
Well, hopefully they listen. That's how long have they had that dog where they don't know to bring a leash?
Oh, I think they had the dog like 2 weeks or something.
Oh, okay. Maybe they're still figuring out.
Yeah, it's too bad there's not evidence everywhere outside ever that dogs should be on leashes. But
yeah, no signs, no laws.
No signs, no laws, no pictures, no commercials.
Is that what curb your dog means, you think? Does curb your dog mean
that if they bring their dog again, I'll be on the curb?
A little American History X.
I was so excited to have people over, and it was a good time, but then I found out how stressful it is. So I'll probably not do that again.
Well, I want to come over. I didn't even get to go. It's canceled. You told me. I was like, I can't go. You'll be like, oh, there's going to be another one.
Well, yeah, that was before a petting zoo opened in my backyard. And we were doing cornhole and found out where we had cornhole isn't allowed. So
how'd you find that out?
Same conversation.
With the neighbor?
Mm-hmm.
What'd she say about cornhole specifically?
It was just in the alleyway that isn't our property, so we had to move. All of it was reasonable. Like, I'm not mad at the neighbor. The neighbor's like, hey, this is just what the rules are. And I'm like, I love rules, so I know how to not get in trouble. But
she pulls out like this giant book of rules and goes to a random page.
It's like a Harry Potter textbook.
Yeah.
It's got dust and hieroglyphics.
If you look at the table of contents, clearly cornhole is discussed in pages 38 through 45, how there shouldn't be cornhole. And
you didn't invite anybody that doesn't believe in leashes, did you?
Wow, crazy twist here.
Picture of Jeff with a dog.
Saying, they like to run. I don't know. They also like to eat trash, and the dogs love doing things they shouldn't be doing.
Yeah. It was so stressful. That is certainly my anxiety. And I knew that when I told Joe that was going to happen, but I had to be honest with him and tell him what happened because I can't keep it from him. But it wasn't anything that was threatening us getting kicked out.
So you knew when you told him this story that he would see me at a bagel shop and tell me that you got evicted?
No, I didn't know it would be brought up, but I knew that he would think. I knew he would go way farther with it.
Oh, that's so funny. Well, now I'm upset to come over and hang. Is there a way you can position the cornhole where you won't get evicted?
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't think it's going to happen over cornhole, Andrew.
Oh, I don't know. This neighbor is already on edge.
I know. I am. It's contagious, just like flies. It's, the numbers are growing.
I did tell Joe I'd bring it up to you on the episode. So,
oh boy, and I'm going to see him later and be like, "I'm sorry about the thing. It's not a big deal."
I would tell him what you told me.
I did.
I don't know if you did that. The guy you said to put the thing on the leash, you didn't, and then the door kept opening and closing. I did. Well, tell him there's got to be a way to have people over without the animals. And maybe it's just a guest list. It's a guest list.
I'm going to have to hire a bouncer. I'm going to get the New York Comedy Club doorman.
The guy named Crow? Isn't that his name Chief Crow or something?
Maybe. Any of them. None of them I would mess with.
Yeah, me neither. All right. So I got my anxiety topic of the day. All right.
Perfect.
So
I'm re-experiencing my anxiety from that day now.
All right. Well, my story will distract you from yours, perhaps.
Right.
A friend of mine had a movie screening. Like he made a short film. He made a short film in 2015, which I'm trying to do the math here. What is that? 7 years ago? 6 years ago.
Yeah.
6 years ago, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy how fast that is.
When you first said 7, I'm like, that's a ridiculously high number. And then you said 6 and it was right. And I was like, oh my God, it is a long time ago.
Yeah, 2015 seems recent to me.
It does. It seems like last year.
But we're edging on 2025. We're closer to 2025 than we are to 2015.
That's true.
In 2025, we're going to be like, remember 10 years ago? And I'll be like, 1991? No, 2015.
Oh, man.
So at this screening, since he's a comedian, there was other comedians there and some people I saw. And there's one guy I haven't seen before the pandemic. And he just starts talking to me and I'm like, how you been? And he proceeds to tell me everything he's done in a year, which is uneventful. Most of it was uneventful. Literally told me everything. I got like a whole year's worth of a story of whatever he went and whatever he did. And right. I was just like, I'm just looking for a good. How was your year? Good.
You're like an auctioneer. Do I hear good? Do I hear fine?
I hear it was okay.
I hear that.
So it literally hour plus of this guy talking to me, and I'm like trying to back away. I'm trying to talk to other people, and he's like on me like the flies in your house.
Well, you opened the door.
Got to get a screen.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to ask you, what do you do when people are talking to you and you want to get out of the convo? Like, do you have a get out of convo plan? Do you have a strategy, or do you have like a thing you do? How do you get out of a convo when you want to get out of one?
I still don't know. I try to just prevent the getting stuck scenarios, because when I'm stuck, it's like I feel like that scene in Indiana Jones when he picks the wrong Holy Grail. I just age 1,000 years in 3 seconds.
Well, how do you prevent getting stuck? You don't know how to predict that.
I've learned to know who's the stickers.
Well, what if you don't know at all or forgot?
Oh, they've got some signs on them.
Like what?
When like there's like let's say there's a couple of people and there's a thing like hey, how are you? I just like see how they are talking to somebody else usually. And if like every answer is longer than the typical answer, like you're saying, like a good, I'm like, okay, I'm not going in alone, or I'm not going in at all.
That's a ridiculous amount of intel scouting, though. You have to keep track of every convo and how long everyone's answers are.
Hey, I haven't been stuck.
It's true. Well, you do the work. You put the time in.
I've been stuck in the past, and I know how awful and how draining it is. So I refuse to get stuck.
Especially when there's other people you want to talk to.
Yeah.
You feel
a lot of people think I have irritable bowel syndrome because I just be like, I got to go to the bathroom. That's how I used to do it, but now I just prevent sticking.
Oh, so you're saying you used to use IBS as an excuse to get out of a conversation?
I used to just be like, I got to go to the bathroom. I'm sorry. And then go to the bathroom. And then they usually find another person to leech the energy from.
That's true.
Like, you ever seen What We Do in the Shadows, the energy vampire? That's exactly.
Oh, yeah. Those are the people that talk to you?
That's what I try to avoid.
Yeah, I guess it's weird if they followed you into the bathroom. Well, let's continue this in the stall.
That's exactly what I'm doing, stalling.
Yeah. So, okay. So if you were to get stuck, you would say, I go to the bathroom.
Now when I get stuck, if I do get stuck, I'm just stuck. I have no way out.
Okay, that's me too. Yeah. I'm stuck until like the joints in my bones hurt and I have to, my body just collapses.
I feel like my brain caves in on itself, like a cardboard box that you step on.
I sometimes go insane, like mentally insane in a conversation that's so long and there's no end in sight. Like even with the conversation I was in, I was like, why are you telling me this? Like, I don't know this. I know he was telling me like, I don't know, like what to do post pandemic or something. You know, you got to go here, you got to do this, and I'm like, I am aware of where the store is and how to go there. You know, I even said that to him. He's like, well, I guess you're right. I don't need to know this. I'm surprised you're telling me this. I got to I was back mentally up against the wall. I was exasperated.
Right. So what happened?
The bar started kicking people out. The bar started kicking people out. I was like, I guess that's okay. She said I gotta leave. I gotta go. Bye.
Oh man. Well, we got to think of some strategies here on how to get out of a thing. You know what helps me is the text on a Apple Watch, because I check to make sure it's not anything super important, and that always breaks up the conversation, because it's that universal sign looking at the watch, and they're like, "Oh, what do you got to get somewhere? What's going on?" And I'll be like, "Oh, it's actually a phone call or it's a text that I got to answer."
That's true.
And that
That's a
breaks
good
it
idea.
up a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of. I gotta get a drink. Do you want anything? But I wasn't drinking. I didn't have a drink. But I should have said I'm gonna go get one, and then I would have to go get one. I didn't really want to drink.
You could have got a water.
That's true. Yeah, maybe a soda.
Yeah, you might get him from the sound of it. You should have got an energy drink.
Or a sleeping pill. Or a sleeping drink.
Yeah, can you roofie me, please, bartender?
That would have been a lot easier. Yeah, so when we have a guest on, we'll ask them what their plans are or strategies. Sure, and if you have one of your own, write it in, everybody. But I usually, if somebody, I just hope somebody else comes in the convo and I can be like, okay, great, I'll see you later. You know, like I'm hoping for somebody else to break up the convo. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like if a third person comes in, the sticker, sometimes we'll stick on them.
I love a new person joining because they're like fresh blood. They're like, I already drained this guy. Let's get this new meat.
Yeah, it'd be like if you had some stain on your shirt and the only way to get it off was rubbing your shirt against another shirt or something. That's what it feels like. You're like, oh, thank God that's off. No, it's their. Now it's like your joke. No, it's now it's their problem. The Band-Aid in the pool joke.
Oh yeah.
How do you end that joke?
Oh my God, I gotta remember it. Hey, I'm single, and then you see your relationship stuck to your friend. You're like, he'll figure it out.
Oh, he'll figure it out.
Looks gross.
Oh, looks gross. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's no offense to these people. You can handle them in doses, but when it's like, know how to edit your sentences.
The best timing for these people is a long car ride or something, because then you're just looking out the window and they're talking. You know, I
think that's more dangerous.
You're going somewhere. Well, that's true. Yeah. Well, then make sure you don't fall asleep, because like, wake up, you got to hear this story about how I did my laundry. You don't want to miss this.
Oh man, you got to hear about my optometrist appointment.
They thought I was nearsighted. Turns out I'm farsighted. And because of people like that, I'm now self-conscious when I'm in a conversation. I'm like, am I being the sticker? Am I being
I have it on this podcast. I have it on the podcast. I'm like, am I going too long? Is this a whole thing? I'm having it on this one. I'm like, is this too long? Does this need to be punched up? But it's like, I think that's the people that don't become stickers. Or
they're more self-aware.
Yeah. It's like the thing where crazy people don't think they're crazy.
Yeah. Well, that's why they don't get help, because they're like, I'm normal, even though they're have a bathrobe on and yelling at the moon.
Also, crazy people, stickers.
Oh, that too, yeah. They want to share their thoughts. The people with the worst thoughts really want to share them.
Yeah, the sticker, I can't handle. I try to write jokes about it, but it's like, it's so draining. It's exhausting. You know, like when you go to I had to go to the phone store not that long ago to do something with my plan. And every time you go to the phone store, it takes like 4 hours. There's always more things they have to do and more things they got to tell you. And none of it makes sense. That's what it's like talking to a sticker.
It's like going to the phone store.
Have you ever gone to the phone store and gotten out in 20 minutes?
I'm well, of course not. Yeah, but I only go there to buy a phone. I don't know what you're talking about.
Literally that. What else do you think I'm talking about? Planning a birthday party there?
Planning a birthday party.
What do you think I was talking about?
I thought you were like there to shop for other things.
Yeah, a new phone. Where?
You go into the cell phone.
I thought I tossed you a softball. It turns out it was a bowling ball. I didn't know it was going to confuse you. Wait, phone store? What are you doing at the phone store?
Well, first, I've never heard it called the phone store, but it makes sense. What do you want? A rotary? You want a rotary or a touch dial? Oh, you want to sell?
On the rotary.
Hit the rotary, Jack.
Oh man, so funny.
Yeah, the time I got this phone, and I think I told it on the podcast that they were like, "All right, for your extra $30, we'll switch your old phone to your new phone." And they plugged my phone in, and I was like waiting around for 10 minutes. I'm like, "What's going on?" They're like, "Oh, it's not working." I'm like, "You weren't going to tell me this?" They're like, we're trying to, and they're like not doing anything productive. And I'm like, I'll just do it myself. And they said, okay. I'm like, and I'll take my money back for that charge.
They're both purgatory. A sticker and a phone store are purgatory. I want to go into a conversation and a phone store the same way and go, and I got only this much time and even less patience. So
that's how I go in anywhere, but I only say it to myself.
Oh man, because there was a park hang. Well, you and I were gonna go. There was a park hang, and I was like, "We'll go there together."
Oh, this is why you have this example. This is why.
Yeah, I said earlier I was at the phone store recently.
I was like, what? Where is this coming from? I forgot you missed a park hang because of this.
How does this throw you off more than the pilot analogy?
The fly in versus mountain.
Put it in fly. You're like, no, I got that. All right, but wait, phone store. What are you doing there? Oh man. But I also
Sunday where our plan was to do our podcast and then go hang out with Joe List in the comics in the park.
Yeah, I wanted it to be in person where he told you that I was about to be evicted. And
Well, it was in person, but yeah.
no, yeah, I wanted to be there to be like, that's not what happened. But we go to the phone store, Kate and I, and there's a guy there, and he's like, Caitlin wanted to start a family plan to cut down both of our bill costs. I'm like, perfect. Let's charge. Beautiful. This will be great.
He's like, are you sure you're ready for a family plan?
I'm going to tell you, we could have started a family in less time than it took to get a family plan. We get in there. Go ahead. What do you got loaded?
Just this phone store example is something specific to you. I think it'd be like if I went to the pizza shop and it took a while and you were like,
the phone store. I'm telling you, I tweeted it and it blew up more than a tweet I think hard about.
Oh, really?
I go, if you want to waste 6 hours, if you got 6 hours to kill, go to a phone store and try to do anything. And it blew up on Twitter for me, which is 48 likes. But
okay.
And because
I was thinking,
okay, I'm not alone.
It would be like if I went to the pizza store and the pizza was burned and it took an hour, I'd be like, man, talking to a guy you don't want to talk to, that's just like going to the pizza store. And you're like, huh?
I'm telling you, the phone store is universal.
I'm like, well.
Everybody needs to write in because I know I'm right here. I know I'm right. I'm as right as the any headphones work from your point of view.
Well, I appreciate you taking a stance, a very passionate stance on this subject.
I won't let you shame this metaphor.
It wasn't shaming. It wasn't shaming. It was just more of me explaining why I was confused. And you were like, "How do you not know this?" Because you just did it. I didn't just do it.
You've been in a phone store before. I know you've been in a phone store.
I have. Yes. All right. Well, tell us.
Did it take a long time?
It was a couple years ago.
All right.
I can't remember.
Yeah, you blacked it out. It was a horrible experience.
It was. I do remember it did take a while, and I had to get somewhere, and I was late for that.
It's exactly my story. It's exactly my story.
I wasn't as late as you were, though. So
I ended up not being able to go. It took 3 hours.
So what happened? You went in there with the family plan.
Yeah.
The family plan.
I had a plan for the plan, and and the guy that was helping me must have been God because I made a plan and he laughed. And I thought that was better than you gave me credit for. But
must have been God because I made a plan. Is that a line from a song?
It's an expression. You make plans and God laughs.
I never heard that one.
Wow.
It's new to me.
That was as confusing as the phone store analogy.
I mean, the saying that you just said makes completely sense.
Yeah,
completely sense.
Completely.
Well, I know the line of something without a plan is a plan to fail.
Oh, no plan is a plan to fail. Probably
having something without a plan is a plan to fail.
Mm.
They said that in Army ROTC, and I was like, cool. I'm still not going to plan. I'm going to plan to get out of here.
You guys are stickers. What were we saying? Oh, we go to the phone store. The guy's like, yeah, I'll switch you over. No problem. I'll put in the new SIM cards and everything. And I'm like, great. Thank you. And he's like, oh, I added your girlfriend's phone number, but I got rid of yours.
What?
So I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, I removed you from the plan entirely and just added her. I'm like, oh, that's not what we want. And he's like, I know, I made a mistake. I'll call headquarters. And then he started getting in a fight with the people from his company on the phone. And then it took and he's like, all right, we got it all figured out. And he's like, Now I just need your information. He's talking to Caitlin, and she needs it from her parents, and her parents are in their 60s, so they were having a hard time with the technology. So they're like sending her screenshots of the wrong thing, and she's like, "Just let me log in." And they're like, "Well, we changed the password for you." And she's like, "No, don't change." So like, there was this whole thing,
Oh my God.
and then I just
All because
texted,
of this guy deleted you?
oh, because he deleted me. This whole thing, it was like dominoes. He didn't put it an F for fly, so we were just spiraling towards the mountain, and nothing on the callback. And
Well, I was thinking of a joke. I was waiting to say it.
oh, go ahead.
I prefer Pizza Hut.
And I almost ordered Domino's. We were there so long. And then it took forever. And by the time, you ever been in a place so long that you're just drained? It's like the conversation, which makes this as a perfect comparison. We were just exhausted. Caitlin and I were like, we have to sit down. And
Something
we were
about
just
a long time at a store is draining, and that's true. When I got, at the car dealership, it's draining, and at the mall, like anything that involves more than just picking something off the shelf and paying for it is like a soul sucking experience.
excruciating. It was horrible, and it was rough. So but that's that story.
So it took 3 hours to get
It took 3 hours.
her mom to set you up, and then now
for us to be all set up.
Now you're on the family plan.
Me and her, yeah.
Was this the Verizon store or what?
T-Mobile.
Oh, okay, all right.
Because I was with Sprint, and Sprint was bought by T-Mobile.
Okay, because of I know. I think I know the one you went to. Is it by a Burger King?
No, I went to the one across from my old apartment.
In Bushwick?
No, Broadway and Queens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's one even closer to you.
Oh, I know. And we went in there, and he's like, "We don't do that." I was like, "This guy."
He took out a shotgun, and you best be walking. Just keep on walking.
We were in there for maybe 3 seconds. We were like, "Hey, we're just trying to get on the same plan." He's like, "Not here, you're not."
Yeah, we only sell phone cases.
He had the case of the meanies, case of the Mondays.
He knew it was going to take a while, and he'd delete your number.
He's like, "Lose my number, and they'll lose yours."
Yeah, that's crazy. The casualness. Is that a word? Casualness.
It is now. I don't know.
The casualness in where that employee was like, "Yeah, I deleted you," is insane.
And now I'm getting to the age where I'm older than some employees.
Listen here, son.
And I'm like, "What, this kid? What is he doing?" And I'm like, "Oh man, I'm becoming old." So I was just being.
You're becoming me.
Yeah, I know.
Headphones.
You do sometimes. You do get mad at me like I am a cashier.
I don't have headphones. I just got these Bluetooth ones. I just got these things over my ears to hear sound.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear. You want headphones? Sorry, my Bluetooth was playing. I couldn't hear it.
I think we deleted this from the last episode, or from this. So if you were listening for the first time, or hearing this reference for the first time, it was because got a thing at the beginning where Steven said he didn't have headphones, but he had these Bluetooth ones.
You and I might need a marriage counselor. We've gotten in a little spat every recording for the last month.
Well, there's always. I don't think the last one we didn't get into one. The last one we did at my place.
Oh, that's true. I think it's anytime it's virtual. We talk like we've been married for 50 years.
Well, I'm so traumatized from the bad virtual ones that I'm trying to like avoid that pain of a bad recording. You know, like
Right,
quality.
right. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's a wedding at my hotel, so you might hear people screaming.
Hava Nagila. You might hear some Hava Nagila coming through the
Might.
microphone.
And I got a Davita. Oh man. Well, we gotta. Do we have any topics?
Let me see.
I will look as well.
Used to be a ground round. Oh, we got one.
Yeah, Jordan.
Jordan Prairie Strings learning about a new 3D printer from Germany at work this week.
Wow.
Let me check out his bio. What does he do? He's in Canada.
He's. Well, I would say that any new technology really stresses me out, and it really is worse when there's like coworkers that are way better with technology than you, because they'll make you feel small every time you don't do technology right, and it is hard. And then you think that there's resentment building in them, but they're really good at hiding how they're feeling. So that is stressful.
Yeah. I mean, as a series, I know what you're saying, and
Yeah,
I don't resent you for not knowing how to use technology.
Thank God.
But no, there's no but. But
I want to hear the but. I want to hear it.
Well, I wanted to say to this guy, learning technology is fun. To me, it's like building a Lego set. You know, it's like rewarding at the end.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a journey because you're like, oh, figure out these buttons and stuff. Like even figuring out my Apple Watch. I mean, I still don't know how to use it, but it's still entertaining to figure out things.
Right. That is true. When you master something, it does make you feel better about yourself. It is scary leading up to it, but it does lead to a boost in confidence.
So all right. So maybe I'll try to clean it up in case you want to do a clip about this or something. But so Jordan wrote in that they're nervous about using a new 3D printer at work. I think learning about things is good. I'm just saying the same thing.
Yeah. What just happened?
Well, I mumbled through his tweet and then I got distracted by his bio. Oh, okay.
Yeah, you did great. I think the only way you made it weird was repeating.
But true, yeah. No, but you know, when you like figuring out something is rewarding in itself. Not even mastering it at the end, but the journey, the journey of figuring out things. That's why like a Rubik's Cube is fun.
Yeah.
Like I don't think it's fun completing it, because once you complete it, you just throw it in your attic for 20 years. The fun is like matching up the colors and stuff.
Yeah, when you're on, it's not the completing, it's the process. It's like everything. It's like creating the joke is just as fun as getting the laugh, but like it's more like if you were just great at every first attempt was perfect, it's not as rewarding. So having a hard time figuring something out is a boost, I think.
Yeah. But even if something's easy to figure out, I feel like that's still fun, you know?
Yeah, sure. I can tell when you don't agree because you just sit there and then you burp and then go. Literally indigestion every episode.
How much time do we have? Because I got one more thing to talk about.
We got 10 minutes.
Okay. So I saw you tweeted about, you saw the Rush documentary.
Yeah.
Because I was looking at this guy's bio and he tweeted about the Rush documentary too.
Oh, wow. There's a second
one. There is two. There's actually
really?
3 Rush documentaries. Yeah. There's the one
for each guy.
Yeah. The power trio of documentaries.
Well, I watched the one on Netflix.
Yeah, the Beyond the Lighted Stage.
Yeah.
I thought that was so good. I watched that a couple weeks ago, and I watched the bonus stuff on YouTube, which is even better than the stuff in the documentary. Did you watch that too?
No.
There's a couple bonus things. There's a story that was cut out of the documentary where Geddy Lee talks about how he first joined the band, and you know how they're childhood friends, Alex
Yeah.
and Geddy, and they got this manager who's also in the documentary. I don't know their name, and I guess he convinced Alex and the other guy to get rid of Geddy. I think because he's ugly looking.
Oh my God.
And then they played a show in their town, and Geddy went to, because he's friends with Alex. He just went to the show, and the interview with Geddy is like, I don't know why I did that. I thought it was so. He's such a genuinely nice guy that he got kicked out of this band and then just wanted to wish him well.
Wow.
In the audience, he bought a ticket to just. Oh man,
So Canadian.
so Canadian, yeah. I mean, I think I'm Canadian in heart, and you are too. I mean, we're both
Yeah,
nice
that's for sure.
We
If
should
you
be-
if you fired me from this podcast, I'd still listen.
You'd go to there'd be a live pod. You'd go,
I'd be
yeah.
like, well, yeah, he found a guy that knows technology.
I would listen to it too.
I'd still make the clips.
I'd
These
pay
are
for the
good
host.
riffs.
You do another podcast. I'd pay for the hosting fees. I mean, somebody's got to. It's got to be on the air.
Yeah, that's right. Oh man, so funny.
And then, like later in the documentary, and this is on the movie and Netflix. People, the wait, they're at a diner, and a waitress comes up to Geddy, and it's like, "Oh my God, you're Geddy Lee!" And then Alex is
Yeah,
sitting.
and
there,
Alex is sitting right there.
and even Geddy's like, "You want a picture with him?" And she's like, "Huh? Why would I want that?"
She laughed.
She laughed like it was a joke.
She laughed like, yeah, that he's nobody. And then he turns, as in, like, oh, maybe she knows now, and she's gone.
But that
So
distinctive
funny.
look that the manager didn't like made him a celebrity. Recognizable, yeah. Just like Steve Buscemi's like an ugly man, but you know, you want him because you want Steve Buscemi's face.
Yeah, you recognize him.
Yeah.
There's no Steve Buscemi lookalikes out there.
Well, I mean, it would be an insult. I don't think
That's true. You can't say, you know who you look like.
Yeah. Guy who's recognizable because he's ugly.
Yeah, that would be horrible if they went to Geddy Lee. You're like the Steve Buscemi of rock and roll.
But anyway, so I don't know. Are we good with time?
Yeah, we can wrap it up here.
Because I have one.
Oh, sure.
The one anxiety thing regarding Rush is I was in a high school cover band. We played 3 Rush songs, or we played 4 Rush songs. We played a bunch of Rush songs, but we played 4 at like a high school concert.
The number keeps going up.
And I played bass, Geddy's instrument, and it was so
Wow.
hard. And I like devoted hours and hours and hours of time after school, weekends, learning all these songs. And I still couldn't get them right. And we played them anyway. But my high school friends are in LA. I'm going there at the end of the month, and they're like, we gotta play those songs again. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. And then I picked up my bass for the first time in 10 years. I'm like, I don't know how to play any of these. I got like a 1 month of adult time to learn I can't do it. I'm freaking out.
You're gonna play live?
That's what they want. They want to do
Oh my
something
God.
with music, because that's what they do out there. They do what we do here, comedy wise. They do music wise out there.
Why would and they got to know somebody that's better?
They for the nostalgia. They want the old
yeah.
band back together. I'm gonna have to pull the plug. I feel like
Yeah, on your base. That's the clip if I've ever seen a clip. That's a clip right there. Oh man. Well, we got to wrap it up. This was really fun. I don't mean to rush you. Okay.
I laughed.
I know. Any final thoughts here?
No, I did them all. I don't want to, in case you have to, a bombshell story. I don't want to interrupt. Do you have any bombshell stories that we're missing out on?
No, not this time. I mean, I have a story we didn't get to, but I can save it for the next one.
Okay.
But yeah, this was great. This was a lot of fun. As always, thank you for listening. Please share the podcast or write in if if you have thoughts. If there's anything you like, you miss, let us know.
You were very people pleasing, so we'll bend to any feedback anyone has.
Yeah, we want to please you, so let us know what you want.
Please,
and please rate our pod, please. Anyways, that's our show. Thank you so much, and stay tuned for the outro.
Stay tuned.